I've been invited to join a hunting patrol, Barley murmured in Ravenpaw's ear. But you need to get some rest. Ravenpaw opened his mouth to object, but Barley went on. I can see that you're in pain. Don't lie to me, please. Just look after yourself while I help with the fresh kill pile. Ravenpaw nodded. I'll be here when you get back, he promised. He watched the black and white cat trot over to the patrol that included Firefern. The ginger she-cat greeted him frostily, but a brown tom seemed more welcoming and fell in beside Barley as they padded out of the camp. Echo Sung appeared beside Ravenpaw. Are you feeling up to a climb? She asked. It's not far, and I promise it'll be worth it. Of course, Ravenpaw meowed. He followed her along the gorge and up a path that wound back and forth at tight angles until it reached the top of the cliff. Ravenpaw scrambled onto the flat rock with a grunt of relief. It gets easier, Echo Sung told him, hardly out of breath. She pointed with her tail to a rocky slab that jutted out over the gorge. This is a very special place for SkyClan, she explained. It's where we gather at the full moon, and where I come to speak with StarClan. She padded onto the rock and gestured to Ravenpaw to lie down beside her. I love it up here, Echo Sung murmured, gazing out at the gorge and the woods beyond. It's so peaceful, and yet you can see everything that's going on. Ravenpaw nodded. He could see Barley's black and white shape leaping through the trees. Farther along the cliff, Riley was rolling a stone with his paws. Then he heard footsteps behind him and turned to see 3 cats approaching. He was faintly aware that Echo Sung had vanished and that he was alone on the rock. The figures were so familiar that his heart ached, and he had to blink to see clearly. Blue Star, White Storm, and Lionheart stepped out onto the rock and stood in front of him, each one dipping their head in respect. We are honored to see you again, Blue Star mewed. Don't stand up, she added as Ravenpaw struggled to get his hind legs underneath him. I'm the one who's honored, Ravenpaw purred. We have never forgotten you, White Storm told him. We have watched over you and rejoiced in the happiness you found with Barley. He dropped his head. I am only sorry that we could not spare you the pain that you suffered in ThunderClan. I wouldn't change a thing, Ravenpaw promised. If anything had been different, I might not have had my life with Barley. I have been happier than I ever imagined a cat could be. Lionheart gazed at him, and Ravenpaw felt his pelt glow with warmth. We have come to do something we should have done long ago, the Golden Tabby explained. We would like to give you your warrior name. You have more than earned it with courage, fairness, and loyalty that you've shown to these cats, and every cat who has crossed your path. Ravenpaw took a deep breath. How often had he dreamed of this moment when he was an apprentice, wondering what his warrior name would be? But he was no longer an apprentice, no longer a part of ThunderClan or the forest. He looked at the noble cats in front of him. Thank you, he purred. But I already have a name. I am proud to have been Ravenpaw all of my life, and I see no reason to change it now. Blue Star nodded. I thought you might feel that way. She traced her paw across the stone. You know that your time is drawing to an end, I think. Would you like to join us in StarClan? You would be very welcome. Ravenpaw turned and looked down at the gorge. He could see Barley standing at the edge of the woods, looking up at him. The black and white cat kinked his tail in a greeting, and Ravenpaw waved his tail in reply. Then he turned back to the StarClan cats. I cannot join you, he mewed softly. There is someone I need to wait for, and I hope that there's a place that we can be together, even though he's not a clan cat. Lionheart nodded. We understand, and rest assured there is a place waiting for you both. But you are welcome to visit us in StarClan whenever you wish. You will find a way, I promise. He reached forward and rested his muzzle on Ravenpaw's head. Ravenpaw felt his soft breath against his fur and slipped gratefully into painless sleep.